Hello AOS fans, it's me Pete and I'm here again. It's that time of the week to give you another deck video. So happy new year, hope you're all having a good first month of the year and we're going to crash right on into it. So who am I playing this week? Well, you know already, you've seen from the intro, I'm playing Skaven, the sneaky Skaven swarm, and I'm playing against the enigmatic Eldritch Eyes of the Nine. And what are my plans? Well, I've played a lot of offensive decks recently. I'm an offensive kind of guy, and I want to try the Skaven again using keys. Not all the keys, I'll hasten to add, but I'm definitely playing more of a key-based deck, more objective-y, less stabby-stabby, more run around and grab objectives, that kind of thing. I like to set myself challenges, and I think that this, I've tried multiple times with the Skaven in the past, and I've always failed. So this is my attempt to try and redeem myself in the eyes of Skaven players everywhere, to show you guys that I can play one of my favourite warbands, because generally I seem to suck at them. So what have I got? Let's crash on with the objectives. These are the things I want to score to gain that glorious glory. So the first one I've got is Change of Tactics. Now I've got Musk of Fear in this deck to put one of my guys on guard out of turn, which is handy. It's a mid-turn glory, which could also be very handy for me. And I also have Bodyguard for a price in this deck, which puts Skritch on guard all the time he's next to Kirk. So I'm hoping that I've got multiple ways of getting my guard early, and then I can use this to score a mid-turn glory, hopefully beef somebody up, and then put something defensive on them and just try and run around the board a bit more and catch more things. I know I've said that I'm playing keys and objectives and the first card I've got is about charging, so bear with me. That's like one of the only ones that sort of doesn't go with my main aim here, but it's mostly in there because it is a mid-turn glory scorer. The next one is Cover Ground, move 6 hexes, my guys move 5 and I've got cards in it to increase my movement, so that should be easy to score, and again it's an instant score. And I've got Master of War, play an upgrade, play a ploy, and get an objective. I'm hoping I should be able to score that one pretty easily as well. I've then got Our Only Way Out, which is obviously capture 3 objectives, and I have Supremacy. I figure I've got the numbers and I've got the speed here that I should be able to grab objectives wherever I need them. The eyes do have the range, so they may cause me some bother, but I'm hoping I have enough cards in here to counter that and stop him pushing me off objectives wherever I can. I've then got Superior Tactician, 3rd end phase card, score 6 objectives and get 3 glory. I'll take that, thank you very much. I then got Tactical Genius 1 to 3. This is 3 glory again. It's a bit tough to score than this because you do need specific objectives 1, 2 and 3, but I'm hoping, and I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket here, objectives 1, 2 and 3 are my key objectives that I'm going to be going after in this game. I also have Tactical Supremacy 1 and 2, which is another 2 glory, and it's capture objectives 1 and 2 obviously. I've then got Shining Example, pretty easy one to score and pretty much a must for most warbands, especially Skaven, because the way to inspire them is so darn easy. I've then got Extreme Flank, which I figure with my speed should be pretty easy to pull off. Fired Up, which again should be pretty easy to score because I'm hoping it'll score at the same time as Shining Example, and it'll be Skritch that's inspired. Obviously Shining Example has to be the leader, but Fired Up can be anybody who's inspired. And my last card is Martyred. If Robin's going to kill me and get a glory, I might as well get a glory too. Thank you very much. So those are my objectives. As you can see, a lot of them are grab objectives or fairly neutral things that Robin can't stop, like getting my guys inspired, moving around the board fast, that kind of thing. So what am I going to use to score that glorious glory? Well, these are my gambits. My first is Musk of Fear, pretty much a must in any Skaven deck. Put one of your guys on guard. Thank you very much. I then got There Are Always More, I think another must have in any Skaven deck, which is bring one of your guys back from the dead. Helps avoiding a costly waste of an action to bring someone back if you need somebody. I then got Confused Priorities. I am going after specific objectives 1, 2 and 3 here, so if Robin does happen to have him on his side, and he's going to have at least one I reckon, then that will be very helpful to get one of them over to me. I then got Confusion. If he is standing on objectives, I can run somebody up, swap them around at the last moment, hopefully then claim that objective as my own. And then Jewel of Wits. I do like Jewel of Wits. I always have it when I've got 22 cards, and I do have 22 cards in this deck. I just like being able to get extra cards into my hand, because the more cards you've got at once, the more things you can hopefully play together to really guarantee your chances of pulling stuff off. I've then got Fortify, an extra defense dice for anybody standing on objective. Well, I'm hoping that'll make my objective holders less of a target. Robin might go after somebody else, and if he does go after them, then they'll be rolling 2 or possibly 3 defense dice to make them extra hard to kill. I've then got Illusory Fighter. Now this is on the bar list and it's not one I normally take, but you can take one of your fighters and place them back on a starting hex on your side. And this could be handy if I do decide to run Skritch forward to do some stuff, because my plans for him is mostly stay at the back and not die. But if I do run him forwards to try and take somebody out, maybe with change tactics, then I can use this to hopefully run him back again before he gets hurt and then keep him alive. I think I've used this tactic once in the past to kill a Stormcast and then disappear back up the other side of the battlefield. We'll see if it plays off for me here. I then got Last Chance. This is a reaction which is handy because it stops your opponent from being able to play things like Twist the Knife and Trap, because you get the reaction priority. So if you play this, it then stops them being able to play it. It also has the extra benefit of you roll a defense dice, and if the result would not normally be a success for the fighter, then the damage from that attack is ignored. Skaven only roll dodges, so that means anything other than a dodge or a crit will save you, so that's a 2/3 chance. So Last Chance is a really good card to take with warbands that have the dodge characteristic. Not to mention it stops your opponent from being able to play things like Twist the Knife and Trap and stuff like that, because you take priority first, and it has the extra bonus obviously of hopefully saving one of your guys. I then got Sacrificial Pawn. Choose a friendly fighter, and if they're taken out of action you gain a glory. Well, my plan here is if I have to run some Skaven into his half, which I'm going to have to do almost definitely, then I can put somebody somewhere, play this on them, and it pretty much stops him from attacking them for a turn, because he's not going to want to kill somebody and give me extra glory for nothing. And then Spectral Wings, which I see appearing in a lot of my decks these days. +2 move is very handy, especially with my guys who move 5 already. That's a move of 7. It'll help me with cover ground, and it could also help me with extreme flank, depending on how things are shaping up. And generally it's just a nice card to really boost your movement. And then Quick Advance. Now, I hadn't really thought about this, but Quick Advance says choose 2 friendly fighters other than your leader. That means you can inspire 2 of your Skaven and move them both obviously 1 hex, which is what the card does, but the ability to inspire 2 of your Skaven at once is great. I've never really, this is kind of a penny drop moment for me when I picked this one up, but I suddenly realised that's brilliant for inspiring 2 of your guys, and it helps you move 2 of them 1 hex, so I can shift my people into place with objectives, and then hopefully I can use that to jump onto them at the last minute without Robin being able to knock me off. So those are my gambits, which will help me earn all the glorious glory, and once I've got all that glorious glory, what am I going to spend it on? Well, these are the upgrades that I'm taking. As mentioned earlier, I've got Bodyguard for a price, keep Kuruk next to Skritch, Skritch on Guard. Guard is good, especially for Skritch. If he's rolling 2 defense, possibly 3 defense dice, using shields and dodges, he will be pretty hard to kill, and I do want him to stay alive. Then Expendable. I'm going to have to probably run some of my guys into Robin's half, so hopefully I get Expendable and I can play it on one of those guys, and then I can use as a reaction, which again stops Twist the Knife and stuff like that. During an attack action that will cause any damage to the fighter, I can just remove him from the battlefield and deal 1 damage to him, which is brilliant because it does damage to him. He doesn't count as being taken out of the action, so he doesn't get the glory, I don't concede that glory, and then I can bring that Skaven back and do it all over again if I so choose. It really does put a dampener on things for Robin, stops him being able to farm glory easily, does damage to him. It's all great. The other thing I like is it does the damage. He doesn't have to be next to my guy, so it can be one of his ranged attacks. Doesn't matter, still take the guy off, still do 1 damage to him. Thank you very much. I then got Acrobatic. My guys have Dodge, which means I basically roll an extra defense dice. 3 defense dice on an Inspired Skaven makes them pretty hard to take out, and if they're on an objective with Fortify played, that's 4 defense dice. Then got Deathly Fortitude, -2 move, it'll slow me down a bit, reduces me to 3 movement, +2 wounds. Thank you very much. That will definitely be going on Skritch. And then Great Speed, +1 move, not awesome in the grand scheme of all the stuff I've got, but will help me out with cover ground. And Tethered Spirit, which will definitely be going on Skritch if he's alive, or maybe Kuruk if Skritch is dead. Give me a chance to bring him back from a killing blow and move him somewhere else onto the battlefield on my side, where he's in less danger. I then have the Blazing Key, the Formless Key, the Hallowed Key, and the Shadowed Key, obviously for objectives 3, 1 and 2, and the Formless Key is for any objective. I'm hoping I can pile these onto the relevant Skaven bodies, get them in the right place at the end, and reap myself another 7 glory. That'd be very nice indeed. And obviously whoever's got one of the Blazing, Hallowed or Shadowed keys and is on the right one can also take the Formless Key and get an extra glory for that. And the last card I've got is Champion's Fortitude. Rerolling 1 defense dice each time I make a defense roll with that fighter. Being able to re-roll defense dice, nothing to be sniffed at, especially if my guys are rolling 2 or 3 defense. So that's it, that's my deck, and my plans are simple. I want to get onto objectives 1, 2 and 3 wherever possible. If I can, I use confused priorities to move that over to those over to my side wherever I can. Pretty much just try and get as much glory as I can without dying very much. I've got some defensive cards in there which I'm hoping will keep my guys alive, like Last Chance, Fortify and stuff like that. And for any times when he is going to go after me, like Sacrificial Pawn or Expendable, I can make it really not work for him and work for me a lot more. I haven't played a key/objective-y kind of deck for a while. I've tended to go for all the more offensive stuff, but I'm really hoping I can pull this off because I've tried it multiple times in the past and I've never actually managed it. I really hope that this time I can. With 3 instant score glory, I'm hoping that I can get those early if possible, play some of my more defensive upgrades on some of my Skaven. I'm hoping my keys don't come out till later. If I have to play any keys earlier, it's really going to give the game away as to what I'm up to, and then Robin with his movement and his range might really be able to put a dampener on things for me. So my hope is the cards favour me and that I can finally do some good with the Skaven and that Skritch does me proud. So anyway, let me know what you think. Are there any cards in here you would take? Bear in mind, I'm going for objectives, I'm going for keys, so I don't need any of this, oh yeah, I go for advancing strike and defensive strike and every other strike. It's a defensive deck, it's an objective-y deck, it's a key deck, so what would you take, what wouldn't you take in that situation? A lot of you are probably saying I wouldn't take an objective-y key deck, I know, but with that in mind, what would you do? So that's it, that's my deck. I'll see you soon in the Mirrored City. If you haven't, then do please like and follow us and subscribe and all that stuff. And if you haven't, then do check out Patreon. You get the games a week early. In fact, if you're seeing this now and you subscribe, this game has already been played out on Patreon, so you will get to see it straight away. How's that for a bonus? Until next time, bye!